and welcome back to Hill House Vintage. Now today we've got a different sort of video, mainly because the elephant in the room is that, I don't know if you can see that, but I have a leg in cast. So I can't be walking around and showing you anything. So we're going to sit down and do a very cosy Q&A. So in case you're wondering, behind the camera is my daughter Daisy. Hello Daisy.
Hello.
And so the voice you will hear in a second asking me the questions will be Daisy's.
Do you have a Thermomix? What is your favourite autumn soup?
Ooh, I don't have a Thermomix, and it's interesting because a few years ago there was a wave of influencers and people on the internet having Thermomixes, and I was tempted. But I cook soup from scratch and in a saucepan, the good old-fashioned way, and I haven't changed my ways. So I sometimes might use a mixer if it's a thick soup, but usually I'm just chopping things and chucking them in the pan. So no, I don't have a Thermomix, and my favourite autumn soup still has to be a recipe I inherited from my father-in-law, which is his chestnut and bacon soup with rosemary, and this soup is delicious. It's actually in my first book, Hill House Living. So if you've got Hill House Living, the recipe is in that. Otherwise, I will pop a link and I'll put it on my website.
Have you changed your mind about renovating the kitchen?
The kitchen. Now the kitchen renovation is something I've thought about since the day we stepped foot in Hill House. The kitchen is beautiful. A lot of people love it on the internet. It gets a lot of love, but it's very, very small. And for the size of house, it feels a bit too small, and the size of family I have, it's a bit too small. It's attached to my family room, so we do spend most of our time in the family room area, and then I'm popping in and out of the kitchen. I would love one day to just open it up and make it a little bit bigger, but I don't want to spoil the integrity of the house. It's a Georgian house built in 1822, and with that comes a beautiful old-fashioned feel. I'm not a massive fan of open plan living. I like having rooms. I would just like to have a larger kitchen. So that is on the cards. I found with all of the building work I've done in recent years, every time you think it's going to take a few weeks or a few months, it lasts the best part of a year. So I am quite scarred by my bathroom refits. So we might wait a while, the expense and the time it will take, but I'm hoping that may happen in the future. Watch this space.
Your garden is lovely. Do you have a favourite flower?
Oh, thank you very much. My garden has been very neglected this year, so thank you for saying it's lovely. It can be very beautiful, and when I give it the time and attention it deserves, it can be magnificent. I would say my favourite flower depends on the time of year, which is a very boring answer. But I love my dahlias at this time of the year, which is autumn, and I love my hydrangeas in the summertime, and my tulips are usually very magnificent in spring. So in answer to your question, my favourite, well, I have 3 children. It would be like choosing my favourite child, which is impossible. So tulips, hydrangea, dahlia.
Do you eat your daily meals in the kitchen?
We eat our daily meals in the family room, which is literally just, you go through the kitchen door and the family room is there. So there's a large dining table, and then a snug area where we sit and watch television and socialise, and then a little conservatory area. You don't see much of this on Instagram because it really is the main area that we live in and can get very untidy. So no, we don't. We have stools in the kitchen, so a quick snack we can eat in the kitchen, but mainly we eat our meals in the family room. I do have a formal dining room as well, which I love, but most meals are in the family room.
Can I get your latest book in Australia?
I'm not sure if you can get it in Australia, but I know you can get it from a shop that will send it to Australia. I know Blackwell's will send it to Australia, so I will put a link in the comment box below so that you can hopefully get it in Australia.
Will you ever do anything in America, like a meet and greet?
I would love to do a meet and greet in America. So please, you invite me and I will come. I think what I have to do is I have to have several places to visit that can all be around the same sort of time, but I would love to do that. So if you've got any large groups of people, I don't know whether it's book clubs or whether it's cottagecore, cosy, who love English style clubs, gardening clubs, or anything. If you've got a group of people who want to come and see me chat, or want to chat with me, or want to talk through books, or just have a nice knees up, a nice get together, please invite me.
How is the bedroom coming along?
A very long dog there. How is the bedroom coming along? I think by that, you probably mean the bedroom that I was doing with Sanderson, the Highgrove Gardens inspired bedroom with Sanderson. Because Sanderson have just done a collection with Highgrove. And that is now finished, and you can see it on my Instagram account. And it's my daughter's bedroom. It's a 4-poster bed. The wallpaper is of the gardens of Highgrove, and it's just stunning. So I'm very proud of that. I chose every item, every bit from start to finish, so do go and have a look.
Hope you're feeling better and your Achilles is healing.
I'm feeling a lot better. Thank you very much for that, first of all. It's very frustrating when you're a doer, when you like running around and doing the garden and styling the home and going to events and seeing people. It's actually very hard to be stuck at home, which I am most of the time with this leg. But it is healing, hopefully, and hopefully I shall be out and about. But what this period of time has taught me or reminded me is how much I do love being at home as well. And I think that a lot of you found me during COVID, during lockdown, and most of my content was home-based, which I loved. You know, the cooking, the baking, the gardening, the styling. Of course, there are lots of antique and vintage hunts, which I love doing as well, but a lot of it meant coming back to the home and styling things in my home. And being at home, I've revisited that love, because the last few years have been a whirlwind of going here, there and everywhere, which has been amazing, and I've done some exciting things and met some incredible people. But I really do want to bring it back home again. So yes, it's all healing and it's wonderful, but it has made me think about a few things and how I want life and this account to progress.
Favourite doggy walks in Norfolk? My pup has just had her jabs and ready to explore.
Oh my goodness, my absolute favourite doggy walk, now I'll have to ask Lady Dashwood, but I think she'll agree. Our favourite doggy walk is Holcombe Beach, which is a massive expanse of white sand near Holcombe Hall, so you can also go up to the kitchen garden there and have a look around the grounds, which is a really wonderful day out. Then go to the Victoria Inn for lunch. They do a fantastic roast, bye-bye. And then followed by a lovely walk along the beach, and it's a huge expanse. There's woodland there as well, and that is definitely my favourite. Another walk that I love is Thetford Forest. Thetford Forest is quite close, and Linford Hall, wonderful walks around there. So those are the two I would recommend. I've got a very busy Lady Dashwood today.
What are your favourite clothing brands?
My favourite clothing brands, I love clothes. For those who don't know, I used to work in the fashion industry. When I was in London, I worked for Elle magazine. I was the bookings director at Elle magazine, so I organised all of the fashion shoots, all of the beauty shoots, and some of the cover shoots as well. And before that, I was a model booker, so I was a manager. I used to look after people and manage their careers. So I've always worked around the fashion industry before I came to Norfolk. And so fashion and clothes are an absolute passion of mine. I do love a dress. I love pattern, not that you think it today, but my favourite used to be Cabbages and Roses, who are a fabric company now, so they've stopped their clothing division and they now sell fabric, beautiful fabrics. But I would say for most of the time I would wear something like Flor, which are beautiful linen dresses. Cabbages and Roses, I've got archives going back years of theirs. I love a dress from Ceffin, which is sadly closing down as well. So many different brands. It's really hard to think of one.
What's your doggy's name?
My dog is called Lady Dashwood, and her name is Lady Dashwood because she's such a tiny dog with a huge personality, and I wanted the grandest name for a small dog if possible, so Lady Dashwood. Lady Dashwood has now left the building, but just as an aside, the name Dashwood comes from the Dashwood sisters in Sense and Sensibility, because I'm a huge Jane Austen fan. So that's where the Dashwood part comes, and the lady is because she is so grand that she deserves to be titled.
Will there be more podcast episodes?
There will definitely be more podcast episodes. If you don't know, I host a podcast programme with Susanna, one of my friends. She's SH Nordic on Instagram, and she is wonderful. She has this fantastic Scandinavian style. However, she's just moved to the most glorious Georgian mansion. And it really is a mansion. My house could be the gatehouse to her new house. So do go and follow her along on SH Nordic Instagram.
What are your favourite makeup brands?
I'm very much a creature of habit, so I do stick to MAC Ruby Woo on my lips. I love a red lipstick, so that's a major one. I love Code 8 concealer and Armani Luminous Silk foundation. I don't use a lot of foundation. In fact, I don't often use it, but sometimes when you just want that extra bit of coverage, especially if you're going on a night out, I'll use Armani Luminous Silk, which I love. My eyeliner, which I usually have a black flick, I don't mind, it can be expensive or cheap. I use YSL, I'll use Rimmel. Any black eyeliner is fine for me. I do love Code 8 blushes, but I also love Charlotte Tilbury, it's wonderful too. So it's a mixture of lots of different things. I would say my top ones are Charlotte Tilbury, Armani, MAC and Code 8.
What motivates your beautiful style?
Gosh, thank you very much for the compliment, first of all. My style is influenced by the past. I think there's always an essence of the past to everything I wear, whether it's from the 1950s or 1940s or sometimes 1930s. I love retro shapes and retro styles, so I would say, and also Hollywood glamour. I do love a bit of Hollywood glamour. So I would say that if I had to pinpoint one thing that inspired how I dress or inspires how I dress, it would be retro glamour.
How's your gallery wall looking now?
My gallery wall, if somebody has mentioned my gallery wall, you must have been with me from the beginning, because I don't think I've shown that for quite a few years now. It was one of the things I was working on in my home. It goes along the staircase. Right at the beginning, I used to get all of my vintage finds. I'd always find a nice vintage painting. I love vintage art. It probably hasn't changed much since the last time I saw it. Every so often I will add a new piece or change a bit around and put it somewhere else in the house. But it's looking great. You've inspired me to do a photograph for Instagram, so keep watching on Instagram, and at some point you'll see my gallery wall come up.
Favourite childhood book?
My favourite childhood book, my goodness. I was a massive fan of Lord of the Rings. Loved reading that. I loved The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. I loved fantasy books when I was younger. I used to love escaping into a different world. So I'd probably say those two. If we're talking children and being a child, those would be my favourite ones. As I grew older, I got into Jane Austen and loved Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility. I loved The Great Gatsby. A lot of these things we were made to read for school exams, and then they became my favourite books. So yes, I loved The Great Gatsby. That was fantastic. And yes, I think those are probably my top 4 or 5.
How do you deal with pesky bugs flying around when you're enjoying your garden space?
First of all, Lady Dashwood's had an outfit change, so she's getting a bit chilly. We're near fields and we're near farms, so we do often get flies. I tend to have citronella candles in the garden if we're eating outside, but other than that, we don't have too much of a problem with pesky bugs. We don't have mosquitoes. We sometimes have a few midges, but nothing major. I do find that citronella works quite well. Yeah, I'm sorry to not be able to help, but we don't have a huge bug problem, I have to say.
Hi, I think you've been doing wellness and exercises. It shows in your aura and posture. What are they?
Sit up straighter now. About 2 years ago, yes, about a year and a half, 2 years ago now, I decided that I needed to rethink everything I was doing about my health and my diet and the way I looked at growing older. Because basically I was doing nothing. I was just allowing myself to age and to grow older, which I love. Aging is a privilege. But I wasn't doing anything about my health. I was eating what I wanted. I was eating cakes and sugar and this, that and the other. And I wasn't doing any exercise. And mainly because I had always been a very fit person. I'd always been into sports in my youth. I was head of athletics at school. And so I didn't really, and I did yoga intermittently. I didn't think I needed to do much. So I sort of neglected that side of things. And then over lockdown, I purchased a Peloton bike and redid my gym for the family. And I would go in sometimes, and then for a few weeks I wouldn't bother doing anything, and then I would go in again and have a little bit of a burst. And about 2 years ago, I was feeling really dreadful, and a lot of that was menopause, and I was feeling sluggish. I was putting on weight, my metabolism had slowed down, and I decided to have a complete rethink of how I was living. So I started doing 3 times a week going on the Peloton. I do yoga, I do a few weights, but I really make use of my gym now. And I'm just more considered with how I eat. I don't diet. I found that I'm also arthritic, so I found that things like white bread and certain things would make my joints feel inflamed. So I avoid those more than I used to. I also gave up a lot of the alcohol that I used to drink. I used to love a glass of wine every night, and now I limit that to weekends or special occasions. So I still do drink alcohol, but not the way I used to. So all of those changes have resulted in probably how I look today, my posture changing, just because I'm just a bit more considered with what goes in and how I move my body.
I'm so drawn to live in Norfolk. What would be your top 3 villages?
Oh, my top 3 villages. Wow. Well, I mean, gosh, there are so many beautiful villages in Norfolk. A lot of them are tiny. I live in a very tiny hamlet. You know, it's hardly a village. But there are lots of beautiful ones. But if you didn't know Norfolk at all, and I'm going to give you some broad strokes of some lovely places to visit, but there are many more lovely smaller villages to live in. But I would visit Burnham Market is incredibly pretty. It's on the North Norfolk coast. I would visit HOLT because there's lots of antique shopping going on in HOLT, and it's a great place for shopping. And I would probably visit, let me think, all of these are on the North Norfolk coast, which I don't live on the North Norfolk coast, but it's a lovely place to visit. If you're going more internal, then I would probably say, let me think, I don't want to say where I live. Where I live is great. Wells next to sea is very lovely because it's charming. It's a typical seaside place on the beach. All of those on the North Norfolk coast. So if you don't know Norfolk, they're great places to visit. In terms of living, there are lots and lots of lovely small villages, but you just have to explore.
What is going on with your leg/ankle? Hope you're okay.
My leg, my ankle, I went on holiday to France, and on the first day of being in France, I was playing tennis, which I haven't played tennis in years, and within the first 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I thought I was getting rather good, which meant that I was stretching myself before stretching. That's the worst thing, I hadn't actually warmed up. And as I leapt to do a fantastic volley, I felt my Achilles tendon just go bing, and I collapsed like a puppet who's had the strings cut. And I knew straight away something was wrong. I couldn't put any weight on my left foot. And yes, I ruptured my Achilles tendon. So It's 9 weeks of being in a cast so that the tendons can rejoin, hopefully.
What is your favourite red lipstick?
My favourite red lipstick, very easy answer, it is Ruby Woo by MAC.
Favourite ice cream flavour?
My favourite ice cream flavour, possibly pistachio, but that does change. When I see the ice creams laid out in front of me, that can change. My daughter's just reminded me, in Grenada, I love rum and raisin.
What is your guilty pleasure?
My guilty pleasure is that I am a sweetie addict, which I suppose in America you call them candies, but I love Haribo sour sweets, which are very sugary, but they have a little sour twist to them. So yes, Haribo, I don't know what they're called, is it Haribo Mix or something?
Tangfastics.
Haribo Tangfastics is my guilty pleasure. I'm ashamed to say.
Norfolk. Where to sleep and eat? Thanks a lot.
Where to sleep and eat in Norfolk? I would go to stay at the Victoria Inn in Holcombe and eat there as well, because that's it's a bit of an all-rounder. You've got the beach, you've got a beautiful old house to explore, you've got a wonderful kitchen garden if you like your growing and your flowers and your vegetables, and it's beautiful. And then you've got a very traditional English pub with rooms, and it's all very picturesque and beautiful. And I will probably do a where to go in Norfolk blog at some point on my website, which is www.hillhousevintage.com. But look out for that, because I will. It's not there yet, but I will do one, because lots of people ask me about Norfolk, and I've never done a roundup of where I go. The Gunton Arms as well, another good place. Gunton Arms, but Gunton Arms and the Victoria Inn.
Is Daphne returning for another murder mystery? I'm busy enjoying the first book.
Thank you very much. Daphne Brewster is the main protagonist of my murder mystery series, and I have just, well, I say just completed, my second novel came out a few months ago, and I'm hoping for her to return very soon. But the first book was the Potting Shed Murder, and the second book is Body in the Kitchen Garden, so do look out for those. I will link them both below, and yes, she will be returning.
What is your favourite spice?
Oh, that's an easy. Well, gosh, I was going to say that's an easy one because I love cinnamon. I love anything cinnamon flavoured, but I also love nutmeg or cinnamon. They both remind me of my parents and the Caribbean. So if I had to choose one, I'd say cinnamon.
Would love your top tips on raising children. Your relationship with yours is so wonderful to see.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's a lovely compliment, what every mother wants to hear. It's so subjective. I can't give you a magic formula for raising children. What I will say is that the person I was when I was in London is very different from the person I was when I came to Norfolk. And the difference being, when I was in London, the children were at a prep school, fee paying. It was very much aimed at academic brilliance, which is lovely when it comes naturally to your children. But it was very high octane. You know, we were constantly working to make sure that everything worked and that the children did every single sport, every single language, every single extracurricular activity. And if they didn't do well in something, then it was sort of like, well, we need extra work and we need to make sure that they do better next time. And when I came to Norfolk, I completely relaxed, and I just enjoyed being a mother and their happiness. I mean, their happiness has always been the priority, but it really became the main focus, that I wanted them to have a wonderful childhood where they could run around in fields and in woodland and just become the beautiful and wonderful people that they are. So I would just say, if you focus and prioritise on their happiness, and if you're able to be present, then I think you're doing okay.
Favourite perfume?
My favourite perfume, that's another hard one, because I love scent as much as I love clothes, and I find it hard to think of my favourite designer or my favourite clothing brand or store. So perfume is even worse. So I love Jo Malone. I'll tell you a few brands that I do love. I love Jo Malone perfumes. I love Loewe perfumes, are stunning, very spicy and very rich and spicy. I love perfumes by Armani. C by Giorgio Armani is wonderful, gorgeous, gorgeous perfume. I love anything by Penhaligon's, another wonderful brand. Penhaligon's is about the scent, but also the way it looks is so gorgeous as well. Their packaging is amazing. And then I also love Catherly, which is Cath Kidston's own brand. So it's not the Cath Kidston brand which she sold, but C. Atherley. So Catherly, that's another lovely one. Another one I've got to mention is Erin, Estee Lauder, under the Estee Lauder group. Erin is just wonderful, and once again the packaging is divine, absolutely gorgeous. So, but I couldn't choose a favourite, I have to say. I couldn't choose a favourite though.
If you had to be in one TV programme, what would it be?
If I had to be in one TV programme, it would be Bridgerton. I want to be in Bridgerton.
Do you think your books could become a TV series? I hope so.
Oh, I hope so too. I would love my book to become, or my books to become a TV series, or even a film. So if any producers, or if anyone knows any producers or directors watching, let's talk.
What are your tips on building an Instagram community?
Building an Instagram community. Instagram has changed so much since I first started way back in 2013. And I would say that the pillars of what I joined for are the same things that you use to build a community now. And that is just wanting to share the things that you love and the things that you do with like-minded people. It's about genuinely wanting a community and being authentic to yourself and just showing your life, or showing the things that bring you beauty or bring you happiness, and the right people will follow. I think if you don't contrive it, I don't follow trends, I'm just me, and sometimes trends, you get told that you are a trend. I've been told that I'm the cottagecore queen. I didn't set out to be a cottagecore queen, I just happened to be a woman who enjoyed doing my garden and enjoyed wearing pretty dresses and enjoyed having picnics in my garden. It was all very authentic, it wasn't meant to be jumping on a trend, but sometimes those things will coincide with the things that you love and you ride a wave. But that should be an incidental thing. Stick with what you love, be authentic, be true to yourself, show the real you, and talk to people. I don't talk as much now as I should do and as I used to, because I'm buzzing around doing so many different things. But I would say that to build a community, you've got to speak to your audience and just enjoy it. People can see when you really enjoy what you do. Have fun. And if your topic and if your subject happens to be something that is not about having fun, maybe it's maybe it's a charity, or maybe it's something to do with a situation that's happened in your life, do it with passion. If you can't have fun, do it with passion, but make it real and make it authentic, and you'll be fine. Your audience will follow. They will come. Have patience, because people will come to you.
Have you had any recent moments that you feel proud about?
Oh, I've had so many proud moments in this year, but also in recent years. I am actually sitting on one of my proud moments. This is my fabric line that I did in collaboration with sofa.com. So this is a sofa.com sofa, and I have a line of 6 fabrics, and this is one of them. This is the porcelain blue chinoiserie. So I'm very proud of that. Amazing to be sitting on a sofa that is my fabric design. Love that. If I were to go back over the last few years, there have been amazing moments. I did a capsule collection with Rora, the cashmere company, and there were 7 items in that collection which totally sold out, which I'm so proud about. Loved Rora. And I did a dress with O Pioneers, a beautiful floral dress. You will have seen me wearing it on Instagram and probably on YouTube videos. That was another wonderful, wonderful moment. But working with amazing brands and being invited to incredible places, I am very proud to have created a career that I didn't even know existed. You know, gosh, when I first moved to Norfolk, who knew? I didn't know what I was doing. So the whole of the last 5 years particularly, but I've been on social media since, well, I started my blog in 2010, so it's been 15 years. I'm very proud of the career that I've built on here and the lovely people that I've met and the incredible community that I've built across all of the platforms. So yeah, every minute is a proud moment.
You radiate such beauty and continue to inspire women like us in our 50s. Thank you.
Oh, well that's lovely. That's not a question so much, but what a lovely thing to say, and I really appreciate it so much. And it's one of the reasons why I keep showing up, really, because as a woman in her 50s, when I first moved to Norfolk, I was 40. I just turned 40. And I'm ashamed to admit that I thought, well, what happens now? What happens with my career? I'd given up my career in London, and I was very much filled with uncertainty. I didn't think I was good for another career. I wasn't, I was quite scared. I didn't think about trying to retrade as an interior designer at one point. But I was very scared and worried. So I think now that I have this thriving career on social media, and I'm writing and I'm doing TV presenting and all sorts of things, and most of this really became big when I turned 50. So I am so proud to show other women from 50 and beyond, or whether they're in their 40s, my children need to see this, that life doesn't stop after a certain age, and you can have a fruitful and lovely and fulfilling career at any age. One of my best friends, Jo Good, is 70, and she has an amazing career that has really ramped up in the last few years as well. So one of the most amazing things I think that social media has done, it gets a very bad rap, but one of the great things is that you can be at home talking to your audience at whatever age you are, and if I can show and be an example of that, then I'm very proud to be so. But I couldn't do it without you, so thank you, my audience, and anyone who's watching, because obviously there's no audience unless you're willing to stop and sit and listen for a while, so I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. So I hope you enjoyed that Q&A, and I really love doing those because you can really expand on a few things that you don't get to talk about normally on Instagram, which is so quick and is over and done with so quickly. A few things that I will do, and I've realised I will do a dedicated beauty video at some point. So do ask any questions about beauty, mature beauty, and I mean, you can add in health and fitness. I'm not a health and fitness expert, but I can tell you what I've done. But more beauty related and fashion related and style, if that's what you want to talk about. But also, do drop in the comments anything else you want me to chat about, because I can't move much at the moment, so chatting is the best thing I can do. So if you want me to do more chatty videos, please do let me know, and let me know what topics you'd like me to chat about. But until next time, thank you so much for being here and watching and taking the time. Please do like and subscribe. I know everyone says it, but it really does help in order to make me continue to be here and to be able to make these videos. So please do like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye. Bye from her too.